We are here with Eddie Gathegi and Rachelle Lefevre playing the vampires, the vampire baddies of Twilight. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks.
You playing Victoria and you playing Laurent. Tell me about the actual decision to play these roles. Both of you actually boast really great character roles in some of the most beloved television series recently. You with CSI and House, and you with How I Met Your Mother and Boston Legal. I mean, what was it about these roles that said, that's the one, we're gonna go there, we're gonna go do that for film?
Well, I was drawn in by the new mythology that Stephenie Meyer created. The no fangs, no garlic, no crosses. It's just a different way of telling a vampire story. And it's very human. She tells a story about a girl who falls in love with a vampire. And once you believe that, you go on the ride that vampires exist in this world. It could be set anywhere. It could be set in space, but it happens to be set in the world of vampires. And that's something that I wanted to be a part of. And when there was a role in there for me, you know, my dreams came true.
I feel like one of the things I always look for when I'm reading scripts is a role where the woman is defined by her own characteristics and is not defined by being the girlfriend of, the fantasy vision of, you know, there's a certain, unfortunately people still write women very often with a sort of possessiveness, and the stories tend to revolve around the men. And so I've always got my eye out for characters that are smart, or in the case of Victoria, you know, I know she's evil, but independent, fiercely independent, and that was just really attractive to me.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because in that Stephenie Meyer world, the mythology, as you mentioned, Eddie, is that Victoria really starts to expand in terms of where Eclipse goes and what that. Are you ready for that as the movies start to go forward? Is that something you're prepared to do? Yep.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And actually, because I read all 3 books in order to prepare, I knew where the journey went if we got to keep going. And so that's definitely something that's been in the back of my head. Like, I really hope we get to continue.
And then Eddie, for you, you actually are from Nairobi, Kenya, and we're in California, and so you kind of got this cross-continental vision of being an actor and being out there. What do you think for you, in terms of understanding that global perspective, this has that tendency to be a global sensation.
Yeah.
What do you think in terms of that? I mean, are you ready for that? Do you know where that's going to go?
Well, I think because of the internet, people have access to a lot of things here that aren't necessarily going to be global phenomenons, and I've experienced a little bit of that. And in Kenya, the Kenyans are claiming Eddie right now, and it is exciting. You know, I haven't been back there in like 10 years, and I was born there, but I came here when I was a baby. But I've never been more connected to there as now. Now that I'm an actor and people can look me up and I'm part of, you know, film, you know, people respond to me, and that's kind of thrilling.
That's great. Let's talk a bit about the book turned to film now. What do you think Catherine Hardwicke, being a director, taking Stephenie Meyer's vision, what did she do to kind of help you guys understand that book to film adaptation? What do you think that she helped bring to the actual characters themselves as she was directing you day to day?
For me, the first thing I noticed about Catherine was when we showed up, how hands-on she was in the costume department. She had such an idea of, and you know, I've never had a director be that hands-on in wardrobe in the very early stages. Obviously they have ideas and they express them, and you know, they have a vision, but she was literally in there, you know, pinning stuff on me and taking stuff off, and what if we cut this? And everything she was doing, there was a backstory in her head about who Victoria was, and you know, the things that we came up with, like together, like, you know, what if I had all these trinkets and I was collecting trinkets from people that I had killed, you know? And then so we sort of found together stories for everything that we put on me, and everything had a reason for being. And that was the first moment when I knew that she was going to be fully there with us every step of the way.
And she's got a great track record of working with young talent, you know, with Lords of Dogtown and 13, and yeah. She really taps into what it is to be human. And I think that's key in a story like this, that you know, requires that kind of humanity in order for us to go along for the ride, and she's perfect for it.
So in this, you guys are part of that vampire empire. For you guys, how was it to play that baddie role?
It's exciting to be to be portraying someone who has super strength, who's got super speed, who's super...
Pretty delicious.
It's pretty delicious. And from what I'm told, vampires are sexy, so I get to play someone who's sexy. That's cool.
But I keep saying it. Vampires are sexy because power is sexy.
Because power is sexy.
Power is sexy.
Yeah.
We think it's sexy as a society. It makes you feel sexy to play. I mean, I never, ever felt like I felt when we were doing the stunts. You know? Like Cam and Eddie on either side, and I was like, I'm here with the guys, and I'm holding my own, and they didn't fall down, and neither did I. You know?
She's
and you
great.
Just, like, yeah, look at me, check me out, giving myself props. But I'm just saying,
I was there, I can attest to it.
There's this amazing thing that happened where you just like the power, you just sort of take it on, and you're like, you have to find that. Because other than you, we don't walk around like we're so hot.
For the record, I never do that. I still don't think that that's true. Even being in this movie, this is the greatest validation one can get, and I'm like, I don't even deserve this.
He's really not a nice guy.
There's a lot of love here. A lot of love. Well, thank you guys for bringing Victoria and Laurent to the big screen and to Twilight. We're excited to see it come to theaters.
Thank you so much.